I'm Glenn McGuinness, and this is Outburst. On the program, do you trust the electoral process in Canada?
Yes, I do.
I'm very skeptical about it.
Until there is no proof of anything, it's just noise on both sides of the aisle. So
at this point, I wouldn't say I have a distrust of it. I would say I lack a lot of information.
But first, after massive bank failures in the US and Europe, some people here in Canada may be concerned about the well-being of our banking system. The crash of Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank in the matter of hours with billions in losses have many people worried that this could be just the beginning of a much larger financial crisis. Canada is not immune to similar meltdowns, but strict regulations and prudent risk management have been credited in keeping things stable. So, do you have faith in our financial institutions? We sent our cameras out with this question. Do you feel Canada's banking system is secure?
I think it's secure because if you compare Canada to the US, there are more regulations in Canada compared to the US. And there are less predatory lenders in Canada than the US. So I believe it's more secure. In terms of CIDs, in terms of the loans that are guaranteed by insurance, we also have better regulations in Canada than the US. But there's concern for us to be worried because most of the things that happen in the US, we actually feel those things down here. So we can be worried, but right now I believe the system is secure, yes.
Our banks are automatically all controlled by the Bank of Canada. And the Bank of Canada sets the rules, and if you don't follow them, that's your problem. Yeah? In the States, they have a much more relaxed way of doing things, and people make mistakes or people get dishonest and stuff happens.
100%. I do. Why? Because we only have a few of them and they have pretty much the monopoly on it compared to the States, which has hundreds, if not thousands, I think, hundreds of them. And there's really little they're quite regulated, so I'm feeling pretty safe about it.
They're a lot more steady, a lot more solid, and they actually hold to their ratios really well. You need this much on hand, then you have that much on hand.
I generally think it's pretty secure. I know that we had a scare in the past where, because we still rely on technology nowadays, that when I think the tap system was down, so not a lot of people could really access anything because they didn't have cash on them anymore because the society relied on a lot of technology. Generally, I think anything with technology, there is a risk that it can not be secure, but I think in general, there's a lot of secure things about our banking system.
I am. I'm with Royal Bank and Scotiabank, so I think I've diversified a little bit, but I really hope that nothing happens to Canada like it did for the States, because it's very sad and I'm sure very frightening for a lot of folks. So yeah, again, I'm very cautious, cautiously optimistic, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Canada has always bounced back. They're very strong and we're very independent. So we don't rely on the Americans. We rely on ourselves, and Canadians have always been hard workers, and we've always kept a strong bank. Sometimes, of course, we fluctuate, but I absolutely believe in our banking system and the Canadians' ability to bounce back. Look how well we did after the pandemic. We were able to come back fully with jobs and money, and I really have confidence in our banks.
I'm confident in the banking system. I've not followed that subject that well. But I'm trying to follow because, well, one of my concerns, it is retirement. So I'm just trying to keep the pace and just be on top of the news, but I'm not sure what to tell you.
You know what? I'm not too worried about Canada because Canada, we're well regulated. In the States, it's different. And there's lots of manipulations and distortion. In Canada, I think we're doing okay. It's been well regulated and there's not too many banks.
However, it's good to be mindful of what's going on and in the news with what's happening, because you got to be prepared, and if you're not, you'll get screwed over.
It's not easy to get a loan or a mortgage, so you get frustrated when it's yourself, but when you're dealing with, the banks have to be careful and watch their security and just have to go through it. You have to jump through hoops, but perhaps that's not a bad thing.
I think we can only have it as secure as the people that run it. And based on the fact that we have governments who can seize our bank accounts, no, I don't feel it's secure at all.
I worry when there's worldwide issues that we can be caught up in them. I cannot believe that we're dealing with another banking crisis that has precipitated from banking laws in the US that were put in after the mess we got into in 2008. But I think if anybody's going to stand, it's our Canadian banks.
As a Canadian, it seems like after this this trucker incident in Ottawa, where the government has the ability to seize people's assets just because they have a political opinion that's different from the governing, party, that they could have their bank account suspended. That's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous.
It's as secure as any other banking system. We've seen some banks fail in US. There's some banks fail in Switzerland, which Switzerland is known for the solid banking system. I know there's some concerns with German banks, the Deutsche Bank, that the biggest bank in Europe is having some issues. So if they're having issues, I don't think Canada is as secure as maybe some people tell us it is.
Actually, I don't. I think that Canada has printed a lot of money in the past 3 years that we don't have. We have a debt that has been sold, so therefore it could be called any given time. And the fact that Bank of Canada is already in the trillions of dollars in the red, I think it doesn't make this country very secure.
I know a little bit about the Canada banking system, and certainly because we have the big banks and because we have a lot more regulations, I think the Canadian system is secure. I am a little bit concerned about a couple of the banks that invested fairly significantly in the United States and into the system, and there's certainly going to be some pain there. But in terms of, is it secure for Canadians? Yes, it is.
Retirement won't look the same for everyone. And for many of us, the day will come that we leave our working lives behind once and for all. But higher prices and higher interest rates may force many of us to save more for that phase of our lives. A recent survey by BMO says that less than half of Canadians, 44%, feel confident that they'll have enough money to retire. But with more money coming out of our pockets for everyday necessities due to rising prices, people's retirement plans could be at risk. So, when it comes time to punch out for good, will you be good to go? Our question. What are you doing to plan for your retirement?
I save money very well. I'm pretty frugal and I keep to a tight budget. And I think looking ahead, investing in better savings accounts and that sort of thing and some stocks is always a good idea. Yeah.
I think that's hard to say. I'm sure that it's a thought that has crossed my mind. What if I don't make it? So that's why I think I need to start saving up soon. I'm not sure, especially given that I like to jump around countries, internationally, that I might be able to actually save up in just a specific country and be able to retire there.
Actually not. That's one of my worries. And I keep looking for a good job that can offer me a good pension plan so I can retire safely and easily with a good money that can keep me going.
Yeah, I do have thoughts, but I am still planning. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So I'm still relying on the company that I work with, which pays me well. And I have a good deal with them. So this is pretty much what I'm trying to.
Well, for the moment, I'm partially retired, so I'm working, consulting, but otherwise, RRSP.
Well, that's a really good question because my retirement plans had me retiring in another 3 years. But thanks to the vaccine mandates, I'm one of the many people that was forced out of work early. So thankfully, I've spent a lifetime working, so I was able to, start retirement. But it was not the same financial position that I was hoping.
I'm very much so thinking about that. I'm almost 40, run a small business, and my sort of joke plan is to start another small business that's less physical. So my wife and I have talked about buying a dump truck and an excavator and starting a small excavating business or something along those lines. And working basically until I can't and just kind of enjoying more free time, but still working the majority of the retirement.
It's sad because many of our people like me have gone back to the workforce where young people, I don't know where they are, but they're not there. So we are filling up the spot for those people that cannot show up.
It's not getting easier for anybody. So that's my concern. I've been, fortunate to be at the age I'm at to build on a financial foundation, but it's a concern for the long term for a lot of people.
Well, for my retirement, I didn't have a pension plan per se, so I very diligently invested into my RRSPs and into TFSAs. And because I worked all my life, I was lucky enough to set money aside and get invested. My wife does have a pension plan, so between the two, we pretty much have the best of both worlds. If she passes away, I only get half, but if I pass away, she gets it all.
It's definitely, I think, for young people, because of the cost of living and the cost of retirement, I think it's starting to enter people's minds earlier and earlier. So I'm just really starting to think about entering the workforce, and that's definitely going to be something that's on my mind from day one, essentially, is what can I be doing to set myself up so by that time I'm ready to go.
RRSPs, pension plan, just try to sock away a little bit of money here and there. And then mix your investments up, high risk with low risk for a good return. But yeah, just trying to be smart.
So I have some RSPs. My employer has some pension plan. I'm participating in it. Obviously investing. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Given all the inflation and the uncertainty with the financial market economy. I don't think I'm doing enough, actually. Probably not.
Work. I work every day of the week. If I could, Saturdays and Sundays as well. That's what you got to do to plan for your future nowadays.
Oh, well, I actually have 3 savings accounts that I have, and then RRSP.
Yeah, I have an RRSP as well, and I match funds every month.
Well, it's coming up in 2 years. So right now we're saving and trying to figure out the best way for benefits, health care. So we do have a pretty secure plan, and hopefully it'll work.
RRSPs, banking money, investing in some real estate.
Ditto.
Currently, not too much. I live with my mom just because I can't work, just because I'm disabled, and it's kind of hard for a lot of disabled people to find work that's not too physically taxing. But right now, I'm just focusing on my health and trying to better that so that maybe I can, in the future, have a nice long retirement.
What is New Brunswick's largest city by population? St. John, Moncton, or Fredericton?
Fredericton?
Moncton.
St. John? Moncton.
I'm going to say St. John. Fredericton. That's my guess.
I'm going to say Moncton.
I'm going to go Fredericton because I feel like I've heard of it.
St. John.
St. John.
Fredericton.
St. John's.
Moncton.
The answer? Moncton.
Moncton.
Hey. Good for you.
Good for you. Hey,
you did it.
Thank you.
Thank you. The 3 main cities in New Brunswick are Moncton, St. John, and the provincial capital, Fredericton. Out of those 3 cities, Moncton is the largest by population. But the title of largest city in New Brunswick by population has gone back and forth over the years. In 2011, the title was held by St. John. Between July 2021 and July 2022, Moncton's population grew by 9,000 or 5%, becoming the fastest growing metropolitan area in all of Canada. In recent months, the integrity of our electoral system has been called into question after allegations of foreign election interference. This issue has been dogging the Liberal government, who many feel have benefited from alleged Chinese interference, as some critics say they're not taking it seriously enough. But although the situation is still under investigation, do Canadians still feel our voting system is secure and free from outside meddling? Our question. Do you trust the election process in Canada?
I sort of trust it, but if I see things like mail-in ballots and these sort of shenanigans, I'm not going to. And I'm a little bit concerned even that in the last municipal election it was all electronic, and I would much prefer to see good old-fashioned ballots and counting.
Sure, I participate. I don't see why. I don't see why not to trust it as much. So it's not that I trust it. It's just I don't see why not to trust it.
Yeah, I do. I think in Canada we do a good job with that. We have to have ID, of course, which works quite well. And what I really like compared to our South American is we don't have to wait in line forever, and we don't have 18 pages to fill in. And even better than that, we don't have to suffer to 2 years of election campaign. It's like 6 or 7 months and it's over. So yes, I like it.
I'm very skeptical about it. Without going into much detail, I don't trust it.
I think it's really coming down to information and the ability to access clear information on certain things that I think is becoming more available, and especially to young people, because there's a big push to get young people voting and to get young people interested in the election process. So at this point, I wouldn't say I have a distrust of it. I would say I lack a lot of information that I feel needs to be put out there more about where is money coming from, where is money going, and that sort of thing.
The whole election system in Canada is fake. All parties, even Liberals, the NDP and the Conservatives, they do this fake, make the votes at the time when the people want to elect their candidates. And that whole system is fake. And it's not between one party, it's all three parties are doing.
I do. I think that I don't have any reason not to at this point. Not yet, anyways.
Yes, I do. We were brought up to study the system. I don't know about yourself, but when I was in junior high school, we had a class called civics, and we all learned about how the country is run and all the different departments and whatnot, and how elections are run. And I've always believed that the vast majority of the people in this country live within the system.
There's been a lot in the media about that. And I think for democracy, it is one of the most foundational questions. So it's like, do you trust what you hear or do you not? So it's a really good question. I tend to trust our election process until it's founded to be otherwise.
No. Nah, not at all. Especially with what's coming out with China and whether that affects the election in any ways, but it puts a bit of a sour taste in your mouth. Or
social media really has a bad effect, I feel, on the election system, and a lot of disinformation for youth and young people who don't really know enough to look or investigate further into the questions.
Voting for the pretty face and not really the substance.
Sure, I do, yeah. Why? Because I trust, how would I put it this way? Because I simply trust the process. I mean, there's no way it can be rigged. I believe the fact that the individuals can be manipulated by what they watch, what they hear, what they read, but that's not the process, that's the individual, right? So regarding the process, I trust the process because technically, from what I've seen, the process cannot be rigged, but individuals can be manipulated. So that's a different thing, right?
Well, we have had some tampering, and of course it is scary to hear that, especially with what was happening in the States. But now that we're aware of it and it's out there, we have to be more careful. And I don't think that we as Canadians are affected. I mean, obviously we're affected by the tampering, but if we're seeing other foreign nationals and we're seeing other countries, then we just need to be a lot more careful with ourselves and have more strategies in place and more technology in place to stop that from happening. But I always have confidence in Canada and our ability to fix whatever's wrong with us. And if we're getting foreign interference, then we need to fix that for the upcoming elections. Now that we know it's happening, we're going to be ready for the next one.
Yeah, until there is no proof of anything, it's just noise on both sides of the aisle. So
I am confident, but I think that again there's possibly some manipulation outside, some influences that are beyond control. But I think we're pretty well regulated that way, and I completely trust Election Canada, and I think they'll be even more on their toes.
Well, there's always going to be people like blaming outside factors for why they didn't get what they want. But I think that at the end of the day, We have been doing this for a very long time, and we know how the election process should work.
Canada's airline industry has long been a source of criticism for travelers. It could be for multiple reasons, like lack of competition in the industry, high prices, or stories of substandard customer service. But after COVID restrictions were relaxed, this problem became political, as passport offices and airports became seemingly unprepared for the travel surge. Air transportation may never be completely stress-free, but many Canadians might agree that a better solution is needed for an easier travel experience. But what would it take to get that kind of thing off the ground? Our question. What needs to be done to improve Canada's airline industry?
I think Canada Airline is great. Compared to other airline, I think Canada is great. To improve, maybe the managing people, don't overbook people.
Probably more staffing, to be honest.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of complaints around budget airlines recently. I think it's something all Canadians want, and something needs to be done to make them work better so more people can be happy with what they're getting.
And more travel experiences across Canada, which contributes to our overall economy.
Accountability, more accountability on individual airlines, on the consumer, for the consumer. Bottom line, they really do have to become more accountable and can't seem to get off as easy as they do with weather-related things and pawning it off to something else out of their control, which is not always the case. And I think it's all back.
Hire more pilots so the airlines aren't having to cancel flights because of shortage of staff.
There needs to be some government interference. We are, even on our way here for our trip, we were canceled and held over
And sat in
sitting
Pearson
7
for
hours.
7 hours just because.
Yeah.
I also think that the problem with airlines right now is that the cost of travel is extravagant, so it's very inaccessible for most people.
I think just in general, airlines need to be educated more on the care of wheelchairs when they're boarding them onto planes, because at least, I don't remember what the statistic is, but I think in 1 in every wheelchairs that goes on a plane, it might be more than that, but it gets broken or just damaged in some way. And I feel like if that was lowered a lot, it would just help a lot more people in general.
And we need better customer service. There's something wrong if you can't get your luggage. If they can't find your stuff on the plane, they can get different people to look on the plane. Honestly, as a customer, is it up to us to go onto the plane and say, there's my suitcase, give it to me now? I mean, that's crazy, right? So I think there needs to be more accountability and more competition. But, who's to say that no one else is going to come along and help? So I don't know.
Well, maybe more qualified staffing so they can process everything in a better way and a quicker way, so we don't end up with having all this lineup to get our passports or to get into the luggage system and things like that.
I think it's a matter of law. If you put laws to defend consumers, then airlines will have to change behavior.
I'd say just more ways of tracking luggage that's being lost. I know there's a lot of things happening around that issues and kind of stuff like that. I had some stuff happen with family and they've lost a bunch of stuff. So I feel like just being able to track the luggage a lot more and finding ways to do that a lot better would be very convenient and stuff like that.
Reduce taxes on fuel for airline industries just because they got struck pretty hard over the last couple of years. So maybe some sort of a 10-year plan to reduce taxes on them and gradually as they return to profitability, kind of put the taxes back on them, something of that nature maybe?
We have to go back to basics, I think. We have to look at our system and our structures again and rebuild on it, what we had and why we had it. And, it's not just the airline industry. Like I said, we talked about the medical system, small businesses, they might have made it, but it's the big businesses that are making the money. They're getting rich. The rich are getting richer. So we need to consider what it looks like to get back to basics so each citizen in Canada has opportunity to make a living.
I think we have to have more competition because we don't. I go back keys and my ticket used to cost me about $600-700. Now it's doubled up and it's Canada. I can go for that price. I can go somewhere else. And also, There needs to be more monitoring. Like, we should not bail out a company that is offering bonus to its own employee. And also the risk now factor of a lot of pilots around the world are suffering heart attacks. So it doesn't make me secure about this country and their airlines. No.
I think less regulation, less government. I'm more like on the libertarian side. So the more government gets involved into anything, the worse it gets. I'm originally from a communist country, so I know how government can ruin industries. And I think and to improve the airline, we need less government in it, more like a private initiative.
Okay, so I think that we have too much taxes on when people want to fly from here to Toronto, Toronto to Vancouver, all these things. So we should look into that, how it should be made fair. The airlines are, after 9/11, airlines are taking advantage of the people, that the cancellation and overcharging, the baggage policy and all that. So it should be looked at that, and you should look at that because Canada is a huge country and people need to travel. Sometimes when we need an emergency ticket to travel overnight, let's say some emergency come up, we have to go to Toronto to Vancouver, the tickets price is like 1,500, 1,800. What country we are living in, man?
I think everything is still feeling the shock after the pandemic, and I think it's important to still be addressing things that have changed then, and then what we can do to bounce back from that, but also to improve on the systems that we had before. So I think that's my take on that.
Certainly they suffered, but at the same time, I think they need to have some incentive for people to get back and travel again. It can be pretty pricey right now. And I understand it's tough, but they really need to put some incentive to get the tourism to get back in the aircraft as opposed to drive. Like, we drove from Ottawa to here. So, and I would really like to fly next time. So, yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode of Outburst on CPAC. If you have any comments about this show or any other show, you can find us on social media. You can also find us on our website at www.cpac.ca. I'm Glenn McGuinness, and on behalf of my colleagues at the Cable Public Affairs Channel, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.